Tesla is all over the news, and for the right reasons. They are about to become a leading pioneer in the EV industry, and this is why. Tesla will soon deploy a new kind of low-cost, low-cobalt, long-lasting EV battery, also known as the 1 million miles battery to the world. It is already known that Tesla has been researching this possibility for a while, and if this works, it could drop the cost of EVs to where they have parity with gasoline-powered cars. No more paying $45,000 before federal tax incentives for something with 200 plus miles of range, in other words. This could be a transformational event for the auto industry. So why is this a game changer for electric vehicles? Ordinarily, automakers, including Tesla, point to lifetime fuel savings and tax incentives provided by local, state, and federal governments as mitigating factors, which means the lifetime cost of an EV is equal to or less than that of a gas car. But if Tesla's new battery tech can change the dynamics so that the price of the sticker is also lower than a gas vehicle, that would be a significant drive for a broader EV adoption. This new battery technology, if possible, will allow cars to go 400 miles or more between charges, and lasting as long as 1 million miles. That can spur EV sales the same way the first 100,000-mile warranties on gas cars once did. Wall Street is buzzing about the difference the next generation of batteries will make, and how much will be made in the stock market on the day of the announcement. Vehicles with lithium-ion batteries, also used in cell phones, are expected to give way over the next few years to cars and trucks made with lithium iron phosphate and other chemistries. Another advantage to this technology is the idea of reducing Tesla's own costs and spurring mass adoption of EVs, as it is still critical priorities for Tesla, as echoed in a message from Musk to employees, saying it would be a challenge to break even right now. The new technology will change the experience of owning a car, whether a Tesla or one made by rivals like General Motors, which is also working on new battery technologies. In particular, the extremely long life of batteries soon to hit the market are likely to mean the batteries will hold their value well enough to even be resold when owners trade in their cars, possibly for using and storing solar electricity for homes. And the next-gen batteries' long lives may let them be used in ride-sharing businesses that demand cars that can take the pounding of near-continuous use. As usual, Wedbush Securities analyst Dan Ives had something to say. If you're talking about batteries that can last twice as long for the same price, it completely changes the math for the consumer. Iron phosphate batteries are safer, and they can have second or third lives as electricity storage. Also, Shirley Meng, a materials scientist and professor at the University of California, San Diego, who directs the school's Sustainable Power and Energy Center, said efforts to reduce the use of cobalt have been going on for a few decades already, and Tesla has made significant strides with their technology. Meng, who has worked on battery chemistry and development with major auto companies, including Mercedes-Benz, GM, and Nissan, as well as Maxwell Technologies, the battery startup acquired by Tesla in 2019, said battery experts are very curious to learn about the breakthrough Tesla has had. And she does believe the company could raise the profile of the lithium iron phosphate approach in the EV market. The battery tech had once tried to make the successful jump from energy storage to cars in the Fisker Karma, an early, ultimately failed EV contender, produced by Fisker Automotive in 2012. I truly believe Tesla is planning to bring this back, Meng said. To expand on the technology Tesla is using for the battery, Tesla plans to use lithium iron phosphate instead of the traditional lithium-ion battery that uses mainly cobalt in the production of batteries for electric vehicles. Now, the key difference in the lithium iron phosphate batteries is that they do not need to use cobalt, a rare and expensive element that is a big part of the high cost of electric vehicle batteries. Cobalt prices have tanked during the global economic downturn, declining from as much as $95,000 per ton in 2018 to $30,000 this year. But it remains key to bringing down battery costs. Cobalt is by far the most expensive element in the lithium-ion battery. So with that knowledge, canning cobalt is one of the biggest elements of cutting the cost of batteries below the $100 per kilowatt threshold which is a rough proxy for making electric vehicles as cheap as those powered by internal combustion engines. The new chemistries could push the prices of EV batteries as low as $60 to $80 per kilowatt hour, said Dan Ives. Today's batteries cost about $147 per kilowatt hour, down from about $1,000 in 2010 and $381 in 2015. Tesla recently signed a new long-term deal with commodities giant Glencore to supply cobalt for its battery plants in Shanghai and Berlin. Cobalt, which is also the focus of a new race by miners to extract minerals from the ocean floor, has long been a commodity challenge for major technology companies, not just Tesla, but Apple as well, which needs cobalt for its phone batteries. The element has become a politically sensitive issue too, with some of the largest supplies of cobalt coming from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where allegations of deadly child labor in mining have ensnared Apple, Tesla, Google, and other tech firms in a recent international lawsuit. Main cautioned that there is a limit to the price improvements that come from reducing just cobalt. And that's because the pricing differential between cobalt and nickel has narrowed in recent years. Tesla's primary EV battery technology is NCA, based on nickel cobalt aluminum oxide chemistry, while most of the auto industry uses an NMC, nickel manganese cobalt, battery chemistry, with nickel being an important part of both approaches. Reductions in cobalt alone can't drive continued step changes in pricing, which is true, but the most important thing about the million-mile battery, despite the fact that most drivers will never need anything close to a million miles, is that a battery that can cycle 4,000 times before seriously degrading puts worries about dead batteries to rest. The real value in the million-mile battery for the average driver is its underlying durability, because this enables tangible benefits like aggressive charging, longer range, smaller sizes, and lower costs. You, as an average driver, need a big battery for the occasional road trip and energy density to make it more efficient. At 15,000 miles, about 24,000 kilometers per year, the average US driver doesn't need 4,000 cycles, because they are using only 50 to 100 full charge cycles in a year. But 4,000 cycles and a million-mile lifespans will be important to buses, taxis, fleet vehicles, and renewable energy storage where daily depletion of the battery and low cost of ownership necessitate it. One of the most radical ideas is that these batteries could even change the nature of car ownership by letting them serve as robo-taxis that pile up miles, shuttling passengers far more rapidly than personal use vehicles. An idea GM chief executive Mary Barra endorsed in March. Shorter range electric vehicles will also benefit from longer lasting batteries. It is interesting to note that mass market entry-level vehicles will also need the increased cycle life because their smaller batteries will need more frequent charging. This need is already being addressed with low-cost LFP and may see Tesla's NMC as an alternative solution if durability and cost improvements ever allow. If these hurdles are cleared, it will lead to mass EV adoption and a carbon-neutral future. The battery developments that will allow the long life cycling of rechargeable batteries include nickel manganese cobalt, NMC, and a long-range lithium iron phosphate, LFP. Single crystal cathodes are crucial to this. See, in NMC batteries, lithium cycles in and out of the cathode through large clusters of crystals that are prone to side reactions and degradation, in which protective coatings can be applied to the surface of the clustered crystals to reduce unwanted reactions, but repeated charging damages the coating, as clusters of crystals expand, contract, and break apart. Single crystal cathodes can be formed that are less prone to cracking, and with an added coating, they can also resist side reactions, which means long-life, million-mile batteries are ideal for more demanding applications, like robotaxis, as well as being better suited to ultra-fast charging. One development worth noting, and being excited for, is energy density, which will be a giant leap forward for batteries. As hinted by Musk in August, an energy density of 400 watt per kilogram could even enable electric flight. Energy density is the most important along with fast charging and cost. Essentially, they have to develop batteries with greater fractions of the active energy storing materials, cathode and anode, and reduce fractions of inactive materials such as copper, aluminum, and separator foils. Tesla will first launch the new battery in China, beginning with the Model 3. It then plans to roll it out to other vehicles and markets, and ultimately produce batteries with new manufacturing processes that are meant to bring down labor costs while raising output volume. At so-called terafactories that would span up to 30 times the space of the current Tesla gigafactories, including the one in Nevada. It's expected that Tesla will no longer have to bundle battery cells before their installation in final battery packs, which saves on weight and costs. This will also come with better recycling methods, so the batteries can be reused in other applications later on. Cheaper, easier to make, longer lasting, less impactful on the planet. This is a holy grail scenario, if it can be done. Tesla is already leading the pack in terms of reliability. They offer an 8-year warranty on their Model 3 cars, up to 160,000 miles. They also offer the guarantee that their batteries will maintain no less than 75% capacity under normal use. We sure can't wait to hear what Musk had to say on Battery Day. That is all we have for you today. Thank you for watching. Till next time.